Good morning. So today we are continuing with verse 64, but before that, just a small review of 62 and 63. So 62 and 63 were important verses, chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita. These were about how a person can go to ruin if the person gets angry. So it is a very simple step. If you dwell on sense objects, that is the first thing. And if you get attached to those sense objects, it could be any sense object for that matter. Any of the sense objects that appeal to you. It could be even the simplest of the things. Maybe just, doing something which you are doing on a regular basis. If you get attached to that, a question of even sleeping. Now, if you get attached to sleep, this can create problem for you. Now, if you are used to getting up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock and all, and later on when life takes a turn, you have to get up earlier than that. Maybe you have to get up at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning and do all the work. That can cause problems. So he says, if you get attached to any sense objects, the attachment will give you a desire. The desire is, I want to sleep more. Every day I have to get up at this hour. Why should I get up at this hour? I want to sleep. So this ideation comes about. Then when that happens, the desire of wanting to sleep will give you anger if it is not fulfilled. So suppose you get up at every morning at 4:30, and then you feel that why should I do this? What is the need for me to do this? And when that happens, it can create certain amount of problems where you will find that if you don't get the fulfillment, then you are going to get very upset about it. And when you get upset about it, the anger will come in you. And when anger comes, you get very delusory. You say, there is no need for me to do these kind of things. Why is there a need for me to do this kind of things? And from delusion, there will be confusion of memory. How is the confusion of memory? Simple example I'll tell you. If you are used to going to gym, and in that gym you are doing say 1 hour of training, weights and other things, whatever that you are doing. And then you decide that, now I feel that I have to take 1 day off, 2 days off. Maybe you go on a holiday and then you leave that training. When you leave that training, the inconsistency will come in. It will show in some place. Maybe you will get flabby in your muscles, Something can happen. Anything can happen. And when that happens, a kind of a delusion comes in the mind saying that, what is the point? I was doing this, so on and so forth. And then your thought process will take you to a point where it will be confusion of memory. You may have not gone for 2 months now, but in your mind it will be, only last week I left it. So this confusion of memory keeps on coming persistently, and when that happens, you will lose reason. This should not be the case. And when you lose reason, you go to complete ruin. Then you let go. Let go means, even when we were talking about the example of getting up in the morning, when you let go, what happens? You don't care what time you get up. Sometimes you get up at 11 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes you'll get up at 8 o'clock. Sometimes you'll get up at 9 o'clock. And then you will say, what is the point of this life? This life is worthless. I have done so much in the past. You have done so much in the past is your loss of memory. Please remember this. If you have done so much in the past, then why are you suffering today? This is the reasoning which you are going to have. And when you have this reasoning, you are going to ruins. So today we will understand also from the spiritual aspect what happens over there. So now let us continue from the next verse onwards. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 64. But the self-controlled sadhaka, while enjoying the various sense objects through his senses, which are disciplined and free from the likes and dislikes, attains placidity of the mind. Now we are coming towards a spiritual angle. If you have started your journey in spiritual, then you are called a sadhaka. Okay? An aspirant. It's like you have become a student. Now the student normally starts his journey of learning certain things. And as an aspirant and as a student, what happens to you is you start understanding a few things. And when you understand a few things, you know that you have to control your senses and mind. This is continuously being told to you. Control your senses, control your mind, control your senses, control your mind. Don't get attached to them. This has been told to you quite often. So you are going to attempt to control your senses. So, like say for example, you may go out and you feel like eating something from, let us say, a bel puri or a pani puri or some kind of a thing. Okay? But you can control yourself and say, no. This water may not be good. The oil which they are using is not good. Maybe it is stale. You know the kind of things that happen. So you can definitely say something to yourself like this and control yourself and say, no, I don't think I should have. Maybe you have gone to a burger joint with your children and you are so wanting to eat one. But you can say, okay, today I don't feel like eating. You can control yourself. But the funny part of it all is the control means the moment you say, I am going to control, your body is going to say, no control. Take it. That is, we go through this in our life so often that the moment you say, I want to do this or I don't want to do this, when you say, I don't want to do, the urge and the need for you, because your mind is going to become very active at that point and say, you should, little bit. Now I will tell you something very important. Listen to these words. When that happens, what are you trying to do? You see, it is simply like this. No. You are trying like this. Suppose somebody is offering you an ice cream or somebody is offering you a chocolate and you're not supposed to eat the chocolate, you're not supposed to eat sweet or you're not supposed to eat that thing. No, I don't want it. No, I don't want it. Finally, from the other hand, you will take it. This is so common amongst everybody. And then what happens? Something very strange happens to a person. They eat it at that point, okay? Let us say you are eating it. Or the example which I gave you of getting up late. So you have got up at 10 o'clock in the morning. You have missed your children's school. The bus is gone or something like that has happened. Do you know how much you are going to trash yourself? How much you are going to call yourself names? How much you are going to say you are a miserable person? Why don't you do this work? You should not have eaten. You should have got up early in the morning. You know, those kind of things. We literally bash ourselves a lot. So that means human beings have this tendency of what is called as blaming your own self. See, when you blame yourself, you get into what is called as a martyr mode. You know, martyrs, how martyrs are. Yeah, I'm the worst person on earth. I can't do even this little thing that I'm supposed to do. You know, the martyrdom comes in literally everybody. Okay? But spirituality teaches you it is not about that. See, the senses are going to be acting themselves on their own. See, this is an important lesson. The senses, let us say your eyes, are going to see the object. Okay? Your ears, you can't close your ears to somebody saying something wrong. Or your body is going to react and say, okay, now you have done this, something wrong. When that happens, the sadhakas know something very well. Stop blaming yourself. There is no need for you to blame yourself and say, I am the worst person on earth. You see, everybody goes through it. But what is the difference between them and you now? Do you know what is the biggest difference? You are learning spiritual. They are not. The whole world is not learning spiritual. The whole world doesn't understand what is it to become spiritual. Spiritual means overcoming the mind, being one with the divine. You are a divinity. This is something you have been taught. They are not taught that they are divinity. They are taught that they are only simple human beings. You are not a simple human being. You are a part of the divine. And if you are part of the divine, the one thing which you know very well is everything happens by the will of God. Isn't that what you know? See, they are not a believer. All the other world is not a believer. They don't have any idea everything is happening by will of God. They think they are the doers. So they blame themselves. You can tell yourself, it's okay, today I have not got up. It's all right, no problems. Tomorrow I can become better. And you can try the next day. So stop blaming the world and yourself for whatever that is happened. So the person who is a sadhaka, the one who is on the path of spiritual, he enjoys the sense objects. See, he doesn't blame himself. Okay, I have to eat one chocolate. It is okay. It is okay to eat. So you can put it in your mouth and just enjoy it for that moment. Doesn't matter. Don't matter. Doesn't matter at all. It's okay. You can sleep a little bit. No heavens are going to fall on you. Don't worry. This is what the sadhaka understands. He doesn't have to blame himself. Himself means herself, okay? I am talking to women. Okay. The sadhaka doesn't have to blame herself. Okay, I have done something wrong. So stop this blame game on yourself. Don't become a martyr, okay? So stop being a martyr. Enjoy it. See, while enjoying various sense objects through his senses, but you know, you are disciplining yourself. You know this, isn't it? What is the main motivation of discipline? Ekagrata. The mind has to be one. Our job is to control the mind. Can you control a wild horse? No. The wild horse is anyway going to run. So sometimes you put a bridle on it and say, okay, I will control. So you can control only for a moment. But the horse is used to doing something, so it will gallop and run away. But again you catch it. The horse is having its own nature. Remember, your senses have their own nature. Can you control your eyes? No. Please understand. Can you control your ears all the time? No. So they are anyway like the wild horses. So they will do what they are supposed to do. In your case, you have to ensure that you are doing that job again. So when you let go the horse, next time catch it. Got it? Train it properly. Now I will tell you how you have done it. You will say, I have done it? Yes, of course you have done it. You know, recently I was listening to one case of a woman. Now her child is I think 2 or 3 years old. It is still breastfeeding. I am telling you, it is a miserable condition for the woman and the child also. At 2 or 3 years old, how can you still keep on breastfeeding? So she took the child to her mother's place. And then also she was not able to achieve. Do you know the reason why? Because one is she is not giving herself the chance and the discipline that she is supposed to have. Weaning away the child is important. Have you done it? Yes. So you have control over things, isn't it? And when you want your child to study, don't you tell the child that you should study, you should study, you should study. You do it very consistently, isn't it? Are you not training them? Naturally you have trained them. So what makes you think that you are not capable? So don't trash yourself. Don't. You are capable and you will be able to handle yourself very well. It is only a matter of time. Like you were able to wean away your child, in a similar manner when you can teach the child to do certain things, like going for what we say potty training. You know, potty training is so important for children. When a small child, is not used to it. Yes, you help the child. But later on you help them in potty training. So you have done it. Now you don't have to go along with the child to the toilet. The child is handling everything. So you have done it. So by consistent training, consistent practice we call it, with consistent practice you will be able to control those senses and the mind as well. So he says, Shri Krishna is telling Arjuna, the self-controlled sadhaka enjoying various sense objects means he is not trashing himself. He does little enjoyment. He will say, okay, today I will take an off. He can do that. It's all right. Through the senses which are disciplined and free from likes and dislikes. See, when you have to do potty training, you can't say, I hate this job. Can you say that? You can't. You are the only one and the child is only there. You have to take care, isn't it? There are no options in your life. At that time, you never had likes and dislikes. No, you were supposed to do the job, period. So when you did that, the likes and the dislikes went out of the window. In a similar manner, Shri Krishna is telling Arjuna, these likes and dislikes will not come. And don't bother so much about the likes and dislikes. Then you will attain placidity of the mind. Then the mind will become placid. Then it becomes very easy. Got it? So the steps which he is given is very simple. I have explained them to you. Now we'll do the next verse, 65. With the attainment of such placidity of mind, all his sorrows come to an end. An intellect of such a person of tranquil mind, soon withdrawing itself from all sides, becomes firmly established in God. Now here what is he saying? When you know very well, your senses are anyway crazy. You have accepted it, but you have learned to discipline yourself. You can forgive yourself, no problem. Learn to control and discipline yourself like you are used to disciplining. So discipline yourself, and when you discipline yourself, You are going to get out of the states of likes and dislikes. I don't like this, I like this. If I like this, I will do this. If I don't like this, I won't do this. These kind of things are not there anymore in your mind. And when that goes away, you have placidity of the mind. The mind becomes calm because there is nothing to do. That guilt is not there, see? The guilt is not there. Nothing is eating you. You don't have to get even with anybody. No. Somebody saying something, you don't have to get even with that person. What is the use? Tell me. There is no point in it. When there is no point in all these things, you understand your placidity of mind is very important, isn't it? So you will attain the placidity of mind. Placidity means your mind is not disturbed. And when your mind is not disturbed, all your sorrows will end. All that was troubling you constantly. Why is this like this? Why is that like that? This is not good. That is not good. This is bad. This is like this. All these things go away. And you will get peace of mind. And when you get peace of mind, all your sorrows will end. What is there to bother you about? What has to be will be. Ke sara sara. Whatever will be, will be. You all should watch the movie. That's a very important movie. You should watch Ke sara sara. Okay. So now, think like that. There is no point in you trashing yourself or thinking bad about others or getting angry, getting upset. No need of any of those things. And when that doesn't affect you, what happens? You will have end of sorrows. And then your mind will be filled with intellect. See, you will be able to think through processes. See, when you are disturbed, can you think through anything? Nothing in this mind is going to help you. I am telling you. When your mind, when you are upset in your mind, do you even think properly? In the verse number 63, he said, no, you can't even think properly. Okay? You will have confusion of memory. Okay? You will be deluded. He said these words, isn't it? And because you have placidity of mind, what happens? You can think very clearly. Your reasoning capabilities come back to you. Your mind is a very good tool for reasoning. Your intellect has all the data points that it requires. Whatever knowledge you want is there. Think about a woman who is working in a kitchen. Okay, now just before she started working, she has had a crying bout, She has been upset over something has happened and she has cried her heart out. And now she is coming to the kitchen and now she has to cook. Okay, think about it. Instead of putting salt, she will put sugar. Instead of putting one thing, she will end up putting something else only. Because mind is not working at all. You will find this is so common in human beings. See, instead of doing one thing, you will end up doing something else. Instead of putting salt, you will put sugar. Instead of putting sugar, you will put salt. If you are upset in your life, how are you going to do? Okay. I have seen personally a woman, she said, one day to me, I packed the dabba and gave to my child. Okay, very nicely she put it. By morning she had some big Mahabharata or Ramayana or something like that. And then she packed the dabba and gave. And in the evening the child comes home, Mummy, why did you pack anything for me? What are you talking about? I packed. Look at this dabba, empty. You gave me nothing in this dabba. My friend had to give me food. Your mind, if you are angry and upset, it can totally delude you. So this woman had not packed anything. She thought she had packed. It was a lesson to her. I told her, why are you getting upset with idiots? There are going to be people in this world you are going to get upset with. Everything from chai wala, doodh wala, everybody. I mean, I can tell you, if you are an Indian and if you have this Z5 or something like that, You can watch this movie called Mrs. Okay? It's a very interesting movie. You should watch the movie. So, the idea is a person can't think that straight. So what happens? Your intellect is leaving you and going. Because you are upset. But now when your intellect is like you're calm and peaceful, what happens? You can think through the process. You can think through entire processes. Your intellect will give you the correct response. Your mind will tell you what it is supposed to be doing. You will have steadiness in your life. He says, and the intellect of such a person of tranquil mind withdraws itself from all sides. Do you remember I was giving you an example of driving car? You see, it becomes automatic after many years, isn't it? You don't have to stress yourself so much. When you know which gear you have to put, how you have to go, which lanes you have to change, right side, left side, turning, this, that, all those things, you know, it happens automatically, correct? So in your life also, you will be able to overcome these problems. Everything will be on auto control. And when everything is on auto control, what happens? Things happen on their own. You don't have to stress yourself. You don't have to beat yourself up just because you indulged in something. Got it or no? Alright? I can tell you one thing for sure. You see, a woman's brain, mind, is totally wired in a different way. Okay? It's wired differently. It's not like a man's mind. Man is straight, A to B. Okay? And he has got a weird sense. I will tell you, this is a very, very peculiar thing with a woman and with a man. Now let us say a man has a problem in his office or at home also. Do you know what he does? There is a way in which he vents himself out. You may think, oh, this person is so steady in his mind. Sorry. His mind is also gone. Okay? You know what he does? He will go to a bar. He will go to a restaurant. He will go to the, gym. He will go to some place. And he will vent himself out by playing the game or doing something. Or there are people who will just have a whole pitcher of beer. And they will come home and they will go to sleep. A man does this. And what does a woman do? She keeps on thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. And it goes on. The whole night you will be thinking and next morning also you are still thinking. So you have already spoiled your whole evening. Your full night is gone because you can't sleep. And the next morning also is gone because you are still thinking about it. And you will wonder, why doesn't he understand? He has already went himself out. Remember that. He has already exhausted all his energy over there. He's already gone and done everything that he wants to. You are the only one who is carrying all the burden full time. Why? Because your mind is still going all over the place. Don't do that. That is why I tell women, please develop some hobby for yourself. You know painting? Go do painting. You know how to cook? Go cook. Do something. Just do something. You want to write. Elizabeth Gilbert, you see, the lady who wrote that Eat, Pray, Love. She writes. It is a way of just doing something. Getting that out of you. Don't seethe. See, if you keep on building that up, it's going to blow one day. So here, when that is there, you are going to get in the wrong place. So now when you have become placid in your mind, what happens? Nothing is going to trouble you. And when nothing troubles you, you are going to become peaceful. Then your mind, which is empty, fill it up with the name of God. Simple example is, go inwards, no? You don't have to fill it up with all the trash from this world. Krishna's name is the best to take. So he says, Krishna says, you take my name. Just love me that much only. Become one with me. Baki kya karna? There is nothing to do. See? He who has not controlled his mind and senses can have no determinate intellect nor contemplation. Without contemplation, he can have no peace. And how can there be happiness for one lacking peace of mind? I just explained to you all this, but let me go through this whole thing again. If you cannot control your mind and senses, see, the senses are the eyes, ears and all that. They are taking this, whatever that is coming from outside. So you see some object, okay. You hear something, okay. When your mother calls up or somebody calls up, you are listening to the words, okay. Is it important to react? I am telling you, your mother is used to just talking, or your brother, sister, whoever it might be. They are just used to blabbering. Are you know this happened, you know that happened, blah, 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 blah. There is no need for you to react to anything. Just leave it at that, no? They are used to talking. You don't need to take it inside of you. Hear it, let it be. So, but if you have not controlled your mind and senses, your intellect will not be determinate, which means you will not be able to reason out anything in your life. You can't think beyond your nose then. Think about it like this. If you were to become the Prime Minister of a country or a President of a country as a woman, and you are thinking, this fellow said this, that fellow said that, these people are writing about me, that person is writing about me, this one is like this, that one is like, you are just thinking. Do you think you can run a country? You can't do anything because you're only thinking of all the wrong stuff. How can he write to me like this? How can he say like this to me? I will get even with him. This is what your mind is going to tell you. Your intellect is not going to function. This is what happens. Do you know why you don't do progress in your life? If you tell a woman, do this job, she also knows that if I do this job, I will become somebody great. But when she is lost in her mind, all the petty stuff that is going on in her life, children are like this, husband is like this, in-laws are like this, the world is like this, I can't do this, I can't do that, this is not possible, that is not possible. When you are having so many reasonings, how are you going to grow in your life? You can't run a country. You are not able to run even your family. Do you get the point? If you can't run a family which is a unit family, a small family, do you think you can do the same for the world? No, because your mind is confined in one thing only. And imagine, you are daydreaming of all the things in the past. On one side you are saying, I wish I had like this. I wish my life was like this. I wish this was better. I wish I had a husband like this. I wish I had a house like this. You are wishing. It's all desires. Nothing is actually happened. And then you say, oh, this has not happened to me. That has not happened to me. This is so bad. That is so bad. Things are bad. People are bad. Everybody is bad. And I am not able to cope up with my life. How much of, self-pity are you having? You know what you are doing, no? You are doing self-pity. I am the worst person on earth. Nobody cares for me. Nobody is good to me. They all think I am useless. They all think I am worthless. Martyrdom. When you are allowing your senses to act with you, somebody is saying something, it hits you very hard. Why should you do that? Why are you not thick-skinned? They are used to talking. You see, a dog is used to barking. Why are you barking with the dog? Huh? There is no need. So when you stop doing this, then you are going to become great. But if you can't do it, then what happens? The intellect goes out of the window. You can't do your current job also properly. You can give 100 reasons. 100 reasons will come to you. Oh, I couldn't do because, I couldn't do that because, this happened because, your because and because and because, all because this happened and that happened. You love to blame the whole world. Why? It's called guilt. There is no need of guilt, by the way. I told you, determinate intellect can only work when you have stopped saying bad things about yourself. You are capable. You have proved yourself hundreds of times. You have come first in your school, you have come first in your college, you were a good student, you have excelled in your studies, you have done well in dramatics and debates and this and that, everything you have done. And then you had great dreams and you were working for some organizations. You were doing something really well. And suddenly now the whole world has turned upside down for you. Maybe you got married, maybe you got settled down, maybe you have children, maybe something is there and you have to take care of somebody. Something like that is happening. And there is something which you will always keep on blaming the world for. But there are two types of people, let me tell you this much. One person is this who blames the whole world for it and blames the entire, my destiny is like this, I am very bad. And then there is a false person. You know who a false person is? The person will say openly to your face, I live a dream life, happily ever after. They say these words, okay? My life is beautiful. I have got husband, children, in-laws, this, that, everything. And I am happy. I am doing everything that I need to do. They tell lies to themselves consistently. They are not only lying to themselves, but they are lying to the whole world. It is a fake world. Please understand, Maya is very dangerous. You have still not understood Maya. Maya can make you think that, oh, the chocolate is very good, beautiful, okay? This is a fake world. It's a world of Maya. People are deluded. It's an illusory world. There is actually no real happiness. If there was no happiness, that is the reason why they are searching for it, but they will not tell anybody because they are liars to the core. So if you meet a friend of yours, any friend of yours or anybody in this world who says how happy she is, oh, I went for a holiday here, my husband is so kind and he's so nice to me and this has happened and my children are doing well and my house is going on well, my in-laws are good. Even Lakshmi's in-laws will not be good. Please remember this. Even Parvati Amma's mother and father were not good to their son-in-law. Okay? You are what exception, is it? You are better than Parvati. Saraswati story, don't even bother asking. There is no goddess in this world, no goddess in this world who is peaceful and kind and loving and caring and this and that. They are upset about something or the other. If the goddess is upset, you think you are greater than any goddess in this world. So don't fall for this crap which people tell you. I am happy, my world is very good, everything is going on fine. They are faking it. Fakers. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for all these things. अरे उसके घर में सब कुछ है. नहीं है. Even if you buy a BMW 3 Series, they will still want, oh, I want a Tesla now, I want 7 Series. It's always going to be like that. Even the most expensive things in the world also, they will still want better than that. You have to understand this. This is something which is a fakey world. So don't fall for it. If anybody says these words to you, they are utter nonsensical. Don't trust anybody when they say these words. They are the biggest liars on earth. Okay? Happiness is nothing to do with having a good husband, having a house, having children, nothing. Happiness has nothing to do with this. Tell me, any of these spiritual people, okay, Ramakrishna Paramahansa or somebody like that, they were happy, is it? In the initial stage of their life, they were the most miserable people on earth. That is why they came towards spirituality. You think Sri Ram was happy? He was miserable till the last day of his life. His wife had already left him. Okay, remember that. How many days do you think he was with his wife? Similarly, Shri Krishna. Please remember this. Even the mightiest of the Lord is not at all in this game. Happiness is not a bird which you can say, I am happily married ever after. There is nothing like this. This story doesn't exist. These are all fakey stories. What happened to Cinderella after she got her Prince Charming? घर में भांडी घासना पड़ा. Okay, she will have to work in the kitchen. Don't bother. No glass slippers after that. Because her feet were already 10 size by then. Pregnancy means what? Water accumulates in your foot also. No or no? You have not gone through this. Your feet become swollen like this. Your chappals are going to eat you up. So Cinderella is not going to become Cinderella. She will become Banderella or Banderella or something like that. So always remember this. There is no Cinderella. Till the story ends, it is fine. It's good for the books. It's all fake. So think like that. So he says, the determinate intellect is not there only. And contemplation, forget contemplation. How are you going to contemplate on something? Already you are contemplating, usko to main barabar karungi. I am going to straighten that fellow out. I am going to do this to this person and I am going to do that to that person. You are already thinking on these lines and you are seething with anger and you are upset and everything. Where is the time for contemplation? Tell me, all good contemplation happens or what? No. Your intellect has gone out of the window. No contemplation happens and there is no peace of mind. Then every day is like a miserable thing. Every day. One of the biggest examples I can tell you, when anybody comes to me, I'll tell you something very clear. I tell them, if you are a truthful person, you will look me in the eye and talk to me. Nobody has the guts to look in my eye with blinking. They'll do like this, like this. When they blink, they are already gone. When you look in the eye, when there is truth in a person, this person never puts his eyes down. Never looks here and there like this. They will look straight in the eye and they will look and they will talk confidently because they have nothing to hide. So next time a woman tells you any story, look in her eyes and talk. She will not be able to look you in the eye. So please understand this very clearly. Okay? So, because they don't have peace of mind. And don't listen to this, people who look here and there, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. Don't trust these people. If they can't see you, then they are having all hidden agenda. In Ramakrishna Paramahansa's world, he used to say, anybody who is cockeyed, or lame or whatever. I don't trust those people. People asked him, but are you not biased? He says, no. God has made those people, they have made them crooked because of that only. They are crooked because of that only. I hope you get the point. Alright? So don't bother your head about it. And when you don't have peace, there is no happiness in this world. So determinate mind, proper intellect, controlled senses, you don't have to do anything. Then you can think clearly through any problems in life and find a solution for anything. You know, this is the funny part. Most of the people who will look at you like this and talk, actually nothing is going on in their brains. You should know this. Then they look, nothing is happening. They don't have anything to talk to you about. And they can take a determinate position. Why? Because they have nothing to hide. They have nothing to hide. And when they have nothing to hide, what is the big deal? Who cares? And that is the reason why they can have peace of mind. So I hope we have understood peace of mind can come to any person who doesn't get swayed in this world. Let the world be like that only. And if you have to fall a little bit, it's okay. Don't trash yourself. Okay. Discipline yourself. Next day there is another day. Don't worry. Everything is going to be fine. Come back. And don't have to bother that you are some worst creature on earth. Stop blaming yourself. Stop this self-pity. Stop this kind of a thing where you keep on becoming a martyr. You know. You are not a martyr. Alright? And then you will have proper intellect. Then you can reason out things properly. And when you reason out things properly, you will be lost in yourself. You will be one with God. And then there is peace and happiness only. So we have come to an understanding. So we will stop here at verse 66.
Recording stopped.